But just as it's a much-needed victory for Dig, it's almost a more needed victory here, if you will, for XDG. Dig just had the momentum. They've gotten themselves in a pretty good spot here, so the end of the season might not look as scary. But for XDG, the consistency that they've been showing, it's shaky.
You can see how serious they are. The looks on the XDG faces, everybody very intense for this game. They really want to get back on track right now.
XDG is known for kind of going in and practicing their games 1v1s for tacos. You're not seeing that too much. The stress is there. They're worried about the kills they're going to get in their own lanes. Tacos after the victory.
All right, so I do want to point out the early actual ward coming down from Bloodwater. He's got the full 3-minute ward here. They don't have to rely on trinket wards. They actually will have a little bit of extra vision. And he's also gone with the Targon, so the early shove probably going to be attempted once again by the Sivir Leona lane. No surprises there.
Interesting. Doran's not being purchased by Kiwi Kid.
Yeah.
Get the ring out. Hopefully he doesn't get crushed down too hard by that
It's
lane.
still Doran. Like, Doran has a lot of items. You know, he's got rings. He's got swords. He's got shields.
His stock is going up this season so much.
He's got plenty of rings to sell. Kiwi Kid picking himself up one. He is going for that strat I was talking about where you just spam Q onto Leona early, try and harass him down.
Yeah.
So when Bloodwater goes in for the executes on the melee minions and the cannon minion, Kiwi Kid really going to try and punish him for it. Maybe even a swap down here. There could be lane movements because we're still pretty early here on the timers. And it's a very interesting movement by ManCloud, getting very deep. Very deep inside that bottom side.
Go for the 3-man.
Oh, late invade. They've got a real ward, as I said. 3-minute ward here from Bloodwater. He could pop that sucker down on blue.
He used the regular one.
Yeah, well.
He got you.
Trinket. Trinket one, that's only a minute.
We'll see what vision that gives them. I don't know if anybody's going to be walking straight across that path. Yeah, it curves into the blue just enough. They'll see him as he walks out of the brush. Zuna starting on his red, as well as a red start for Crumbs. We're going to get help in the opposite
And look at Benny waiting for him in the tri-bush here. He wants to get early advantage in lane. Bam, first cleaver landed. He's established top laner dominance.
Got him in a real stranglehold to start. ManCloud meeting up with Scar in the mid lane. Blades versus barrels. We're going to see how this one plays out. ManCloud should be able to E out of that barrel damage quite often.
Yeah, as soon as he levels up the shield, then he'll be able to trade much more effectively than just using Broken Wings. And as you can see there, Kiwi Kid, you thread in auto attacks every time you Q, because Andy's got a great auto attack now. There goes ManCloud, level 2. Takes the turret hit, though. Whoa. Undoes a lot of that damage he just did. He won the trade and stepped a little bit too close.
Dyrus talking in the lane. Those little things can easily give it back to Skara. And with ManCloud taking that W second as well, the safety isn't there from Shield.
Yep. Meanwhile, down bottom, as I said, Kiwi Kid doing a great job threading in auto attacks along with the Qs, harassing both members. And this is the reverse situation that I thought we were going to see last game.
Right.
But actually played out here by Dignitas. They did a good job of getting the early level 2.
This is the third wave. Dig has been zoned here. They're finally hitting level 2. Very good play.
That's a huge cannon wave that's been built up by Dig. So not only did they get the early CS lead, but they can harass under turret while XDG try and make that lead up.
And we can see Cruiser doing what he needs to onto Benny in the top lane, getting him slowly lower and lower in that HP bar and keeping him under the turret. And every lane is being pressured under the turret except for ManCloud here.
Yeah, and so back to never mind, back to ManCloud here. All right, so he's safe now. The bottom lane, because this Sivir Leona is getting a little bit behind early. Oh, man, they're going for the dive. Got to wait on it.
You got to wait, Kobe. They want to get a kill here. This is what happened for Cloud9. There wasn't enough damage immediately. Oh, no, he finally gets it before he gets the teleport.
And Cruiser stands at the edge of turret aggro right there, takes an extra shot, allows Crumbs to finish the kill. So good synergy between the top lane and jungle. They do go for the dive. They do make him pay for the Mundo pick. Pretty much just what Meteos was talking about in the interview. Zuna wants to make him answer, though.
Oh, it's going to be good. At 600 HP, 600 HP to just about 1,000. Zuna's going to be forced to turn around in this one. No, he has 800 health. It looks to get down to 150 on Cruiser. The Reckless Swing can have it. Oh, he flashes on him to get the immediate stun. They could have enough damage. One slice, then the dice. Oh, they're cooking up dinner tonight.
Very, very dangerous to go for 2 versus 1 situations when you're still this low level. Level 3 level 4 even with a double buff to give away. That's a lot to give away. There's a high risk.
Whoa, man cloud. Whoa, the shield is on, but is it enough?
What?
No, it is not.
Uh-oh, everybody's going aggro. All 3 lanes fighting.
Bloodwater very low. He throws on the shield. He'll be all right from this situation. Smithy kind of calming things down here.
What in the world was I even talking about bottom lane before? We went all around the map. Oh yeah, I was talking about the CS difference. Have to remember the Targons this time because that sneaky sucker will make you miscalculate the differences. So they're not as far behind as it looks. They still are losing though. So be sure about it. You know they're definitely on the back foot.
Oh, yes.
Trying to bait him in.
Trying to bait in.
Ah, yes. The old bait and switch from Cutie Pie.
Crumb still heading around the backside. Oh, how did this? The barrier immediately coming down there. They really got out of that beautifully.
Now, they got another summoner there, a couple of summoners.
Forced the flash, but stay alive.
Yeah, plus barrier from Smithy. So definitely worth on the venture bottom for Crumbs. Interesting rotation, too. You know, what can you get after this? An early dragon is a possibility, but they will take a lot of harass, and they don't have deep vision. So it's definitely still a chance for them because they're not sure that it's going to be as easy as it is.
Things get a little safer with quotes there because they were getting the teleport out of Benny, so they're a little safer without having him join the fight. We saw that was a huge bane for Team Solo Mid, not for Team Solo Mid.
Yeah.
But with Team Solo Mid being able to use that 6.5 minutes, that's a dragon going over to Dig. And they start to actually take a pretty good gold lead, 2K.
Yeah, they really wasted no time. I mean, they went aggressive top lane, got the kill, and then seems like Zuna and ManCloud kind of lost their minds after they saw their team member go down. Both of them went super aggro and overextended, giving up 2 more kills. So a really bad chain of events for XDG here, resulting in a giant win for Dignitas, and I'm sure they're real happy about the start for this game.
Skara always making sure he keeps that channel up. It kind of negates the fact that, you know, Riven's going to be getting that damage with the passive every time she casts. He's got Drunken Rage on, so he's got extra resistances. Works out beautifully for Gragas, and we've seen it already. Skara's got a kill in the mid lane and still trying to aggress.
Yeah, close there, just missing both spells, though. Means he has to back off, wait for his cooldowns, and we have another dive top.
Oh,
he hit level 6, but
he did hit 6. I don't think it's going to be enough either. He may, he did put on the ulti.
It will be.
Wait a minute, fancy feet. Benny's putting on the jets here. It looks like he may get out. Oh,
they got the ignite down.
Taxes early. Gets a little bit of gold back on that one.
They just split. As soon as he hit level 6, they got real scared.
Oh, you got to expect this to happen. I don't know how close she is to sit. Oh, come on. Get a little antsy in the pants.
Now, I don't know. That was just ridiculous up top. Not played out exactly as we expected, but they do trade kills and end up with junglers farming the lanes, so everything's right in the world.
This mid lane, a whole lot of just throwing your body around right now. Scar seems to be winning at that. 7 CS, the kill in his favor. The Doran's ring back and by for him with the Fiendish Codex. Just keeping him on top.
ManCloud trying to answer and clean up these waves, but it's difficult for him to CS under the turret. Misses a good amount of them. Claws his way back pretty close.
Yep. Swinging away. See if he can get that blue buff into action here. He takes it for himself. Obviously, ManCloud not going to require that, or his top laner, so he can keep soaking up that experience and blue buff, but will it be what they need? Crumbs in the mid lane with Scar now could be ready to attack on this, but the bottom lane, every time someone wants to get all aggressive, every lane does.
Yeah, they're definitely no strangers to fights here, and both of them heading towards level 6 pretty soon. Not only do you have to watch for the early level 2s in duo lanes, but level 6 is almost even more exciting because as we went over last game, Annie and Leona, whoever gets the first step and the first stun can easily chain into a kill down bottom. So at this point in time, usually a duo lane will call for junglers to make them aware of the early level 6 that's about to come in, so that they'll be in place to capitalize. There it is!
Oh, Cutie Pie trying to get on the engage there. They go for the ultimate from Kiwi Kid. He goes back, and it's the teleport from Benny. Whoa, they're just deciding who gets it. They said, all right, Smithy, come on. Bloodwater takes with the ignite,
well,
though.
One of these teams did call their jungler, and they also used the teleport just to make sure. For good measure, they end up getting the kill. Woo! And a flash here from Cutie Pie.
I was about to say, I was going to talk about Cutie Pie's inventory. He's really favoring that attack speed with the Phage first over this team that can just rush him down. Or movement speed, I said.
Yeah,
It's attack speed.
yeah, the movement speed there from the on-hit is going to help him out. But he'll be a little bit less mobile not having his flash. He's trying his best to defend the turret.
He does get some help from Crumbs here. Looks like they're going to lay a trail of safety down, and XDG's forced out. They don't get a roam here from Skara. I thought Crumbs was going a little hard. Yeah. It looks like it's just to force it out.
He is. He's posturing. Skara goes deep into the turret.
Nice dodges, though. ManCloud's getting the perfect ease out here. They're still kind of, they're not still, but they're becoming more even in trade, I should say. ManCloud's not being pushed out as easy.
He's staying up there in CS, even giving away a kill. So that's a job well done for ManCloud this time around. Just a little bit of a mishap in the early game where he overextended. Crumbs now, his health bot is ticking at max life, so that's a little bit of wasted cash money.
Just throwing it away. You got to get all the pennies you see. Pick them up. Ooh. And do like the parallel barrel roll or something. Perpendicular kind of strategies coming out from Skara. We'll see if he does the flash body slam next time.
Oh, Crumbs was wanting to make a play from the Wraith camp.
That would have been pretty crazy if he hit that dead strike midair.
It would have had to be a really, really well coordinated.
Well, if it's not ManCloud, it looks like it's going to be Zuna.
They've got no ulti from Gragas, though, so pretty much it's just a zone off turret for more turret damage. Since they're both melee, the best way to get this turret damage is first zone Zuna off of the turret.
And we said this was going to be hard. It's not very easy to get all melee people into a turret takedown, especially when you can get aggressed on by an Olaf and a Riven right there. But Dig is making the movements, and they're making that happen. A lot of damage on that mid turret. Potentially sets it up for Dragon in 50 seconds, and that turret going down right after.
Now, Dragon coming up pretty soon here. We'll have to see if Dignitas actually decide to take that one, because they've got the top lane shoved, but it's about 30 seconds off here, because Mundo can get that one back. He'll get one wave, and then he'll be able to start walking down. His teleport's not up, but he can start walking down before Renekton. If he clears this wave and then goes to Dragon, they will actually have the numbers advantage when it spawns. See which way Mundo goes from base. They're not going to go for the Dragon, and both top laners do return to the age-old battle of Mundo versus Renekton.
He is going to go down. Actually, he's heading towards mid right now, knowing that lane is quite pushed.
Ah, he tricked us.
5 seconds on the Dragon. He's going to pass through this ward, though. So Dig's going to know he's coming, Kobe.
All right, so they are making the call. And it looks like Crumbs just walked right by
It's a smelly enemy.
ManCloud's sword. They make a little bit of a late call here for Dig. They realized it a couple seconds late. Didn't quite have it timed perfectly. So XDG with the man advantage and the Miss Leona ultimate. They finish off Dragon now, try and get out before Renekton gets there.
One and the other. Great movement from XDG.
Now they still got to get out. It's not over.
This is something
They're
that they...
split.
Oh, man. ManCloud, he's like, oh, dash this way. Wait a minute. That is a big crocodile. Dominance is on. They flash the cast. And it looks like they're kind of just chasing this one out. It's the full kite and defense from Zuna. Double undertow, the kick from Crumbs. Here comes the Sonic Wave resonating. Strike for the takedown.
He does land another one, but meanwhile, bottom lane here for XDG has cheated away, and they've tried to get some extra gold from CS while their jungle is being invaded, and now they've been cut off from their own base. Can they escape from this one?
How much pressure are they going to put down? They're doing multitasking here. Kills in the mid lane, 3 to the bottom lane for the party as well. They are all over the map. The omnipresent kills to come in here. A turret being taken down as well within that engagement we saw coming from the side of XDG. So trying to help themselves out a little too.
They don't answer
at least
bottom,
the minions.
but they do get that mid kill.
Yeah.
So huge for them. Taking down ManCloud once again. Skara, even after that kill, not really amused.
Deathfire Grasp right on to Skara. He is looking to take people out of the game immediately with that build. And he is against a Riven who he's not feeling is going to cancel him out. That's not a Zanya's first. That is pure damage.
Yeah, going pure assassination. You know why? All these champions will be in range of that. Usually, as Gragas, you're like, oh, I'm probably going to be far away from their squishies. But man, everyone on XDG is going to be very close in the team fights. He'll be able to get that combo off very easily. And he's just looking for pure power.
Well, Benny going in here looking to slow the solar flare, nicely hitting the slow onto 2. Benny's able to clear it. Cutie Pie so low on mana, and he is not going to have a fun time here. Very nice boomerang blade from the backside over the shoulder of Smithy.
Really good answer from XDG. They at least are able to use the teleport effectively, get back some kills. Now ManCloud just has to be careful about overextending. That is a Moby Boots Lee Sin.
Still, oh, very nice Q. Gets in the resonating strike, and that's going to be the blast backwards for the kick coming in from Lee.
Crumbs is a huge fan of Moby Boots on a lot of his junglers because he is such a gank-heavy jungler, really liking to set up his lanes.
Your shot caller, you got to move fast.
Yeah, exactly. Think fast, move fast.
Yeah, exactly. You took the words out of my mouth. 15 minutes here, 7-4. A 2K gold lead is just kind of hovering there for Dignitas. It's been a few of these dragon pushes that XDG was able to grab last time very nicely, so Dig's trying to formulate that so everything is theirs.
Yeah, and you got to look at the champion picks here because, yes, this is not a giant gold differential here. You know, it's still possibility of a comeback for XDG, but because they've gone with such a melee-heavy composition here, the Zerg, they were really looking to be able to show their strength at this point in the game. This is where they're supposed to be shining with their team fight.
Right.
But they split up around that dragon fight after they got it and the exit. You know, they had burned on the hunt and they had burned Solar Flare, so they needed to all escape safely along the same path. They actually split 2 top, 3 bottom, and that really cost them because that's where Dignitas was able to get, you know, not only kills, those aren't really the biggest part, but the map pressure they got after that really slingshot them into the lead. And it's going to be hard for XDG to get it back because they really just shine in the team fights, and it's going to be difficult for them even in that phase now.
Got to tick against you when you're doing the right thing and the other team still finds a way to kind of make it wrong. Dignitas is doing just that. A great push by Cruiser in the top lane. Skara has been punishing this middle lane. 104 CS to 114. Benny, and hard fought by Cruiser in the top lane here. That Tiamat with the giant spell's keeping him well healthy in these fights.
Popping the ultimate pretty early here. All he's got is a Sunfire, so he's scared of this Renekton. Cruiser is able to lifesteal very easily with his Hydra, so even though he doesn't have... Oh, here we go. Again, another gank from Crumbs. This one is so deep, though, that's easily defensible.
He's like, I'm not here. Yeah. I'm not here at all.
You saw nothing, Zuna. Go back to your
Well, he's got the undertow. We got a little bit of vision. He's going to know Crumbs is taking the Wolves, and you see them somewhat formulating around this. Bloodwater now coming in. Going to get a ward over the wall, possibly. No, he's not.
Now, the hard thing for XDG, because most of their lanes, pretty much, well, all their lanes are behind, it's hard for them to hold all the lanes. They're still trying to hold all lanes at once, and Dignitas have the upper hand in every single one of them. Ooh. So they're easily able to rotate around and grab the turrets because they can take any member of XDG in a 1-versus-1 situation. Really, XDG need to have a numbers advantage to hope for a comeback pick.
Dignitas playing off a lot of strengths that they have right now. They are actually the weaknesses of XDG. The flash being down of Smithy we just saw trying to be exploited in the bottom lane there. He keeps safe though. That'll be up in a few more minutes with pretty much the flash of everyone, so they may be able to get into the fights they're looking for.
Yeah, and you know what else is coming up in a couple of minutes is the Mundo teleport. That's one thing that XDG do have over Dig. If Renekton's not able or willing to go for the stun, then they can get that numbers advantage. They can force it themselves.
So much punishing going into each lane. Dignitas, and they're kind of telegraphing this, right? They're not trying to split push everything out. They're like, we got 5 in a lane. We're eventually going to take it down. What can you do about it?
I mean, it's XDG's call to go for a split push, and they're going to have McCloud on Riven. Try and get as much as he can while they hold a 4-man turret. While XDG's team is not great at sieging up because of the short range, they're decent at defending it. You know, you've got Undertow, you've got Sivir. That's amazing wave clear. They're not very good in the offensive siege game, but defensively, they're okay.
Keeping them safe as they get closer and closer to home, as XDG needs a lot of that right now. They're down 4,000 gold. That deficit just keeps getting bigger and bigger. They're doing what they can to grab up some dragons, and they're doing what they can to keep the vision up. But right now, it's that hashtag no fog for Dig on the side of XDG. That is a lit up jungle.
These are the fights that XDG want to take. So if Dig are tanking dragon, that could be the extra added damage that XDG need to make a comeback and actually win a fight. If they call for the teleport, then it means they have not given up hope yet on the full 5v5 team fight. And I think they should just pull the trigger here.
Oh my god! Smithy almost gets zeroed out by 2 abilities. Skara tries to get himself in another position to go aggressive. Benny does come down with the teleport, but that's in defense.
Right, DFG definitely paying for itself right there. He made Smithy a non-factor in this fight, immediately guaranteeing Dignitas the Dragon. Scar with the beautiful flank, just waiting in the bush here by himself, makes the play, and forces XDG to concede the first 20-minute Dragon. The first 20-minute one.
So it was 3 abilities. The Deathfire Grasp we used, but that's 1,100 damage. He has 1,270 somehow.
Pretty sure he knocked Smithy out of his regular barrel with his ulti barrel there. Might have been the case. I would have to see that sucker in slow-mo again.
I think I'm going to just watch it again. 2020 on the clock, 7-4 as Dignitas slowly shows that they have control of this game, but the kills are almost coming immediately when it happens. XDG is forced to turn away from these fights in complete fear.
Well, you can see even in their own jungle with vision, it's very, very hesitant to go contest a red buff. It'll just come down to the Smite Wars once again.
I don't know if we can call it their own jungle anymore. It's been leased over to Dignitas for the time being. We see Cruiser in the top lane, not giving Benny any breathing room. That teleport is down as well, so Benny's in for the long walk if he needs to help the team here.
And Cruiser has, he's going for a split push here. He's got Sunfire and Hydra, so he could easily annihilate waves. The only thing he's lacking is the vision in that side of the jungle. You can see it's pretty dark over there for Dig. So he might want to shore that up with a couple wards. The good thing for him is that he is extremely fed right now. 210 minions, and he can rely on his slice and dice to get him out of the gank that is probable to come. There goes the ward down though, so he's ready.
So XDG hasn't really been able to use their composition yet. We see they did go Talisman of Ascension. They have the Sivir with the Olaf, and they haven't been able to get it Dignitas. They're always grouped up. There's no one person to ever rush at and take out.
Yeah, as I was saying, this comp, getting behind early, really, really bad for them. And then, as we saw the attempted comeback at Dragon, foiled by Skara, single-handedly.
That 2 pink wards really shows the control Dignitas had over Dragon. They still stand. It's not a situation that XDG has approached yet again. They still have some time before the next Dragon, so they're going to have to be down there to clean it up. But right now, pressure's been given by Cruiser in the top lane. Benny has to keep responding there, and it's all about XDG adapting for complete, almost the entire game now.
And they've got to be careful, too, and set up their own vision inside of this blue side jungle, because Annie, Kiwi Kid, he's got a itchy trigger finger. If he sees anybody in range, they can catch somebody out of position with the Annie stun.
He's very excited about finding his bear.
We've seen how much damage Scar has. If they catch somebody, DFG Gragas is going to explode that person. And he's been chugging blue elixirs this entire time as well. That one just ran out. Going back to base, he probably pick up another one. Oh, never mind. He can complete the death cap all in one trip here. After,
I'm not thinking that's going to be Zanya's after either. These guys are so far ahead that there's been no chance that XDG has had to mitigate any of the resistances necessary. 215 to the 185 in the mid lane. Top lane, 223 to 170. All the lanes are doing superb.
So XDG, if without the extra vision deep, can't jump on opportunities like they just saw here. If they had known that it was just 3 members of Dig and that Smithy or Cutie Pie and Cruiser were so far away, they might have gone for that and tried to take advantage of the distance between the rest of the members of the team, but they don't have any vision to give them the confidence to make those plays that they need to get back in the game. Dignitas
sitting on 2 core items here to pretty much just the one. Some Bloodthirsters, Sunfire Capes. They may not have enough for this fight. Dignitas is trying to force them into it. They know they have the upper hand.
Yeah, it's rough for Dignitas to try and play the vision game right now because they only have 2 sweepers and they haven't bought enough replacement pink wards. They already placed 2 down by Dragon to get the Dragon vision. So with only 5 on the team, it's hard to get both Dragon and Baron vision at the same time. You just don't have enough resources there. Not enough trinkets, not enough pink wards.
Well, we know Dig. Don't go by the B word. At level 15 average, the Dragon gets up there in gold, so maybe they'll just focus on that. The B Baron word is not something they want to have within their games unless they know 99.9% it will be theirs.
I mean, really, all they have to worry about is getting caught out by the On the Hunt. That's a huge cooldown. Catching Lee Sin is a very slippery thing. You have to be careful about blowing those.
like they could get a bit of their own engage on this as well. Cruiser coming in onto Zuna. The Ragnarok is going to be forced out here. Dignitas just gains a little bit more every time the XDG tries to engage.
Every ulti counts. That's 2 down for XDG, and Dig really itching to make a fight. Come on, Perry. What are you just laughing at? Is a extra wine barrel on the side?
Just throwing the barrel out for some class. He's bringing some friends over later. 25 minutes into this matchup, Dignitas is going for the slow win on this one so far. XDG is not out of the woods just yet. They really have some work to do here, and it looks like, I don't know, they need to get themselves some kills soon. It has to be on Scar. They got shutdown gold they're looking at everywhere if they can get Crumbs and Scar.
The part of the reason that Dig are taking it so slow is because, yes, they've got great wave clear for when they push up to a turret. You know, Gragas and Lucian both amazing at damaging people under turrets. But XDG, all they have to do as soon as they see you at their turret is pop on the hunt, and they'll just fully chase you down. They'll just run straight for your back line, and they can still catch and engage there. If you're extended in a very long lane like that, they can catch up to you. So Dig, taking it slow, grabbing up the extra gold around the map. They've established such good vision. They can continually increase this gold lead without any risk at all.
I'm sure they have more than just Dragon Timer on the map right now. They're probably privy about the spawns of both blue and red buff for XDG. So they have a lot of things on their book they can take an even bigger advantage here. Scar is going to grab up blue. It looks like Dignitas is going to go ahead, take a breath, relax a little bit, and we can see 1,200 on both Cruiser and Scar to go back and buy. Look at that mid lane difference. It's 9,800 to 7,800. So that's kind of apparent in all the lanes, the lead for Dignitas.
Yeah, they did a great job in the early game getting ahead, and they've kept it up. Scar now has some spell penetration to go along with that powerhouse, Death Cap and DFG. So if he catches Smithy from the shadows again, Smithy's not ready for it with a spell shield, then it'll be death this time for Smithy.
Crumbs just walking around. Feels like he's pretty welcome in the jungle. He has an escape route. He's good. Oh, he kicks him as soon as Ragnarok goes on. Quite an unfortunate event. Here comes the teleport in. Benny's into the fight with the ult on, and Cruiser's going to be there to welcome it in. That's some big damage from a barrel from Skara. It is the chase coming in. Kiwi Kid on the backside. Tibbers is still up. No, Tibbers is coming around. He had thrown it down, and we're going to see what he can do.
He's still on the run here, but he's been cornered by
There he goes.
Mundo.
He gets Tibbers back. He may be able to save a little bit of damage here and deal some more out. Benny getting the kill with Smithy on that.
So they were able to get a fight outside of a turret, and they were able to annihilate Cutie Pie before the fight even started. That's the only reason they got Dignitas on the run. Now they need to make something happen after that kill, because this is a small window that will not open very often. XDG have to capitalize on this.
Ooh, Smithy taking a lot.
There they go.
All have to walk around. Are they ready to keep engaging onto this? They did get Dig to spread out. This is what XDG has been wanting, a bit of Dig to group, but in a scattered way. They're in pods of 2, pods of 3, and we saw Skara didn't even want any more of that fight.
Yeah, they got a little bit more damage, and they got Scar's flash, but it's not quite enough to fully get them back. So they need to return back to the passive playstyle and hope for another scattered pick. If they can find Dig again somewhere away from turrets. Oh, he's able to spell shield, though. He was ready for this one. It didn't come from Fog of War that time.
Oh, Crumbs blowing the flash. Wait a minute. Skara wanted more. The undertow's there. Bloodwater's just behind. Ragnarok is back off the solar flare. Whoa, are they going too far, though? A great kill for Zuna. Calling coming in from Cutie Pie, but he cannot get enough damage to make it count.
Sometimes you just got to let him run away. Skara wanted that one a little bit too much. They were very, very sad about letting him slip through their fingers, and overcommitting to that chase kill could be, again, another opportunity for XDG. They're slowly getting back into this.
It's one of those small shutdowns we were talking about. It is 2 kills, not huge, but that is good gold that they're going to be getting onto champions they need.
And look at this reaction from Dig. They are like, wow, we just keep getting cut out. Instant 4 pink wards up here, 4 sweepers. They are going full on with this vision war here. They've just spent so much money into this. They're definitely going to be looking to control the Baron area and forcing XDG into a bad spot.
They force XDG into a bad spot, and we see Cutie Pie kind of doing the same thing here with the Cutlass on his Lucian build because of always having to be in a bad spot. He gives himself a little more kiting.
Yeah, the Trinity Force Blade of the Ruin King Lucian gained a bit of popularity starting over in Korea, as a lot of things do. and he's just jumped right on that train. He actually went with the Last Whisper before grabbing that sucker, so it's an interesting little twist that he's got on it, so he can actually do damage to Mundo early. And it'll be very interesting to see how he uses that blade later in the game to kite around. Because he is Lucian, you know, with the possibility of resetting his dash. He's got very high mobility late game if he can land one of those kills.
So looking at Dignitas now, you know, even social media, themselves said they falter when we don't hit those wheelhouse champions, when it's the comfort picks. Back on the comfort picks, and things are right as rain again.
Yeah, Scar with that Gragas. There's a reason that people always ban it against him. This is a fight away from turrets. Dignitas are going to take this one.
Quite a bit on Cruiser to start it off, though. Kiwi Kid's on the backside. He does get Timbers out. It's on to Benny. Not too much of the back line, though. It is going to be good damage onto Cruiser. That's the tank being put out. The fadeaway calling from Cutie Pie doesn't allow the engage, but XDG's heading down mid lane.
They didn't get it really a chance to set up all the vision that they had purchased there. Dig, with 4 pink wards, 4 sweepers, were just getting to work over in the Baron area, but XDG capitalized. Again, this is still that Zerg comp that's all about these open area fights, and this is where they're thriving. They're able to get another 2 kills, another foot, another step back into the game.
This is getting a little scary here for Dignitas to see so many fights go in the favor of XDG. It's got to be weighing on the minds of Dig right now. They are still trying to stay grouped. They still have the power coming from Skara, but we can see without that defensive build, he's forced to be out of the fight a little more than he wants to be.
Yeah, I mean, they do need to kite back, as we said before, versus this very melee-heavy team. The other opportunity is to catch people out on the other side.
Oh, ManCloud, a very slippy. Oh, he actually going to get a kill here. A beautiful hit. The wind slash already came out, I believe, and that's just going to wear off. A great save on Skara.
Yeah, at least still blinking down there. 40 HP, he's fine. Getting back all the way to the turret now, though. ManCloud, that's the danger of Riven. Even late-game Riven, who was shut down, 1 in 3. He still got the Bloodthirster plus Last Whisper. That's enough to be able to burst down somebody like Scar, who went full offense, as you said.
ManCloud likes to be on those OP playmaking champions. A lot of people see Riven as not being too strong right now, but you can see once you get her to that point again, she still scales where she used to be. She can still be Riven. ManCloud still looks to carry his team on that. 264 to 277. He's really gotten himself back in CS with the focus. I mean, they haven't been able to too much on Dig's side of the map, so farming has been their only choice.
Yeah, and they're farming right back into this. They're almost back to even gold here with the extra dragon on top of the play from ManCloud right there.
Yep.
That play just earned them a very late game dragon, which is worth so much more gold. As soon as the average level hits that 16, it's all the way up to 1,300 gold for your team. Not quite there yet, but pretty close.
See on the side of XDG, they do have a little bit of armor pen coming out now. Like we said, that's affecting Skara. It affected pretty hard on Cruiser too. He went down first in that fight. XDG,
there's the teleport, they go in.
There it is coming on the right side. The Solar Flare just on the left, and they're going to engage. They are right in each other's face here. Crumbs tries to get into the fight. He goes out. His shield comes on. The Ignite may take him down, but he lives. Benny's trying to get to the end of the fight here. The barrel goes in. Though XDG is splitting a little too much here, and they need to communicate. Cruiser back onto Benny. They didn't want any more of the fight, but Dignitas did. Great attacks coming out here. Smithy takes the boomerang blade back, but it didn't shred too much. Skara now a little too much ahead of the team, and Dig and XDG trading kills back and forth.
Dig were able to kite backwards this time, and then they turn it around on Mundo after everybody's in the retreat. Preacher Cutie Pie able to use his Blade of the Ruin King on the exiting Mundo, so they secure the kill on the tank, and then go even deeper for more, but Scar has to pay for that one with his life. Body slamming in for the extra damage. Gets cut down pretty early, and they want to answer for a couple objectives after their teamfight win.
Crumbs is just moving so fast to utilize vision in the jungle after that attack. He saw Smithy, but he said, my job right here is to get vision. We're going to come back for this. Just you wait.
It's so exciting when both teams are really built around those mid-game team fights here.
Right.
Very close which one will come out
Super
on
explosive.
top. But the Sivir is really helping out for XDG. It was a long time that Dig had to wait out the on the hunt duration to let them do that re-engage. but it was played fairly well, and they did get the extra global gold from the mid turret. All right, so let's watch it again. The teleport comes in at the same time. Kiwi Kid and Leona both initiating at the same time. Here's Crumbs. You got to pull back right now. They're trying to kite for the duration of this on the hunt. Everybody's running backwards. There goes the Randuin's proc as well. ManCloud wanted to get up to Crumbs execute, but Benny is the one who got the last notification that they were on the retreat.
Yeah.
So he starts walking back a little bit later than everyone else. Cutie Pie went in, slowed him with Blade of the Ruin King, and then Scar trades for Zuna. Ended up getting a turret as well, so very, very close still.
That was a great turn there by Dignitas, but also XDG for keeping their head in the game, doing as much damage as they can before any of the teammates go down. Really, XDG's ultimates for Dignitas, as they consider them, like you said, they just need to kite it out. Benny's is a channel. You have On the Hunt channeling for a period of time. If they just outweight those, even Windslash coming from Riven, if those are all down, they get this fight in their favor instantly.
Yeah, you say just wait them out. It's pretty hard to outrun
it's a lot easier to say.
On the hunt. They've got a Leona for the long range and double Randuin. So yeah, it is touch and go here. It's pretty hard, but they have a talisman of their own. Now they're trying for it.
Oh, forced to flash. He almost got stuck up there on the dead turret. Cutie Pie is able to get out of this one as well. He gets that talisman of Ascension speed.
Can Renekton get down in time? This is the time for the re-engage.
Oh, he has got such a good cut on the pie here. He can make it into the entire team. Cruiser may throw on dominance as he enters. It's going to be a 3v1. The TMS damage as well. He's right onto ManCloud. Dignitas is just flooding in now to this fight. A little late on the backside, but XDG has turned tail.
He only hits Zuna onto the sidewall, though. Now they have to back off once again. Both teams using up all the ultimates. They have to disengage now. You don't want to give control of the map away at this point in the game, though. Look at the giant wave down bottom for Dig.
Yeah.
And no vision for XDG on Baron. This is the point where you make a risky call. This, you have to choose. If you want to end the game now,
oh dear,
they're going for it. This is still very risky, though. 3 members of XDG might be enough to contest this. If they just wait around and poke them inside the turret, they could cause Dignitas to be very scared and abort their mission.
Baron looking a little low here. They do want to abort Kobe. They're going on to Bloodwater. Zuna comes up from the backside. That's some low HP bars on Dig. Does XDG have the focus to pull this fight in their favor? Cruiser goes down immediately. Xmithy's big there with a double kill. Cutie Pie. Dig, why did you go for Baron?
Calling to the face. Ouch.
Wow.
Classic Dig, I guess. They made the risky call, and they saw Mandatory Cloud down bottom, but that's Riven, one of the fastest champions in the game, using all those dashes. She was able to join the fight, and now it is actually G's turn to go for this Baron. Crumbs, everything is on you for the steal now.
Great move by ManCloud. Has to do it. Throws the Ignite down. The Smite is completely out of range. XDG coming up with Baron at 38 minutes.
That's just pure frustration on Dig's side. They spent all that money purchasing 4 sweepers and 4 oracles, or 4 pink wards, and they never got it done. But here's the fight. Yes, they've got Mundo throwing cleavers at you inside the Baron pit. You're going to get antsy. In come the harass from Sivir as well. They're just buying time, buying time. Here comes Mandatory Cloud. Dignitas turn around. They're all grouped up for Zuna slow, and he just goes berserk. They pop on the hunt. This is the melee team in action. They don't let you escape, taking out 3 members, and then obviously they get the Baron after this. Culling to the face does not hurt at all.
Ooh.
Easily able to finish him off.
They look great, just holding the shield up in front of the Culling and completely taking him down in the end. Said, you have no chance. Cutie Pie still trying to do what he can here. He is 306 to 296, but he does not have that 5-0 and 5 score that Xmithy has found on that Sivir this game. And they were giving him kills to help him get a little snowball. We saw a few like Kiwi Kid waiting around in the bottom lane, give Xmithy the last hit, and he's been doing great. Right now with double buff, Infinity Edge, going into Spectral's Cowl, now for a little bit of safety. Finally, 40 minutes into the game. We did say XDG was behind, but they're getting everything they need now.
Man, Bloodwater, when he's got his W on, has got 260 armor himself. So, no wonder the Culling's not hurting that much. Even with the last Whisperer, he's a tank as well. So many tanks on this XDG team. They're all melee, but they've got 3 really strong tanks now, with the only real full damage sources being ManCloud and Smithy. And those 2 are the focus targets. So Dig looking to pick off either one of those guys. If they can get one early, then they might be able to actually turn one of these fights around. But currently, Baron buff is enough to allow XDG to grab up more turrets.
More turrets, the gold lead in their favor now. Things are completely swinging their way. It was the mid to late game that social media, the fans, and even XDG said that's where they have a hard time. I don't think we saw trouble mid to late game for them here.
Well, they've really focused themselves with these champions. They're like, well, our only option is to go all in. Like, everybody's on the same page now. You can't be on any other page because that's all you can do with these champs. We have to go all in. We chase with our on the hunt and just...
It is a composition that can fall apart
kill whoever
immediately.
you can catch. Game plan, kill whoever you can catch.
I was asking Kobe, when are we going to see the on the hunt to get that one person? It's actually been the face-to-face fights that Dignitas has been now giving over to XDG. Good wave clear still to come from Dignitas. Skara doing what he can on Gragas, so it's still going to be very hard for turrets to get taken down if they're not getting split.
And now it's a completely different story since XDG are actually ahead. They can make use of the teleport advantage, and they can slowly get the side. Here we go, initiation, this time from Dig.
They do have to deal with Ragnarok here, so it's going to be a very long chase, but they all crush down. Wait a minute, Kiwi Kid's in the back. Timbers does get used, but it goes down immediately. Crumbs is there to try and help, but he's just a meat shield right now. Cutie Pie gets shredded, surgically removed by Xmithy there in the Boomerang Blade, and they are going to keep moving on to the base.
Teleport comes in from Benny, evens up the odds there. You know, Dig really trying to make something happen with the numbers advantage, but they could not get a good Timbers there, and this is going to be XDG walking straight into the base.
Dignitas with their backs against the wall after controlling the first 20 minutes of the game, now 6,000 gold behind after being in the lead the entire time.
That is the best news for XDG, because the hard part for this team is getting inside the inhibitor turrets.
My word.
But since Dig chase outside of turret range, they get a free window right up the mid lane through the inhibitor turret. Now they've got an open door into the base, and it's going to be a lot easier for them to finish this one out.
Mundo's getting pretty tanky. We see where the line of Cruiser kind of stops in that scale going up, and Mundo really has the advantage now. Even as far behind in CS as he is, he's got the 10 assists and the 2 kills, and he is providing to be a huge front line with Zuna for these fights. And as you said, Bloodwater too. They have 3 gigantic tanks with so much damage behind it in Man, Cloud, and Xmithy.
Yeah, that support / tank Bloodwater is really beefy right now. So here's the attempted chase. The Timbers, as we said, they weren't able to get anyone important. They weren't even able to get anyone at all, because Zuna pops Ragnarok. Once that Timbers is down, there's no stopping this just stampede from XDG. So, you know, Kiwi Kid, he did his best, I guess. But, man, they really were not in range.
Cruiser almost had no effect in that fight. Man, Cloud dashed right by him, and they killed Kiwi Kid instantly. And you saw Cruiser, he's like, I don't think I'm going to come back in. Really wasn't a factor in the fight. So with him now in the base, maybe they will find something around one of the turrets that needs to be pushed by XDG. They're not going to be down mid. That inhibitor is down. We got about 1:30 on both Baron and Dragon.
So difficult. I mean, chasing really far out the base. I mean, they had no counter engage with the Timbers down, and they also had no escape plan because Talisman was used offensively. So they really exposed themselves there, and now it's going to be a full defense plan for Dig. It's code red right now.
Code red.
They've got a
double Thornmail. Bring them out. We got one onto Cruiser, one onto Crumbs. They are against a very heavy attack damage team in XDG right now. We got the Guardian Angel now onto Man Cloud. He can go even a little more ham if he wants to. The Banshee's Veil on Xmithy. They may walk something in here.
Yeah, the thing about going attack damage heavy, once you get Last Whispers and Black Cleavers on your main damage dealers, then it actually doesn't, it's not that big of a detriment. The Thornmails will hurt a bit, but a lot of these champions have lifesteal too. You can see double Bloodthirsters on the 2 damage dealers. Man Cloud he life leeches ridiculous amounts, as well as Smithy, so it can sustain through that damage.
Banshee's Veil and
there's just bubbles all over him.
Very nicely done. Doesn't take any damage from that quick poke of Scar's barrel. A little bit of Lee Sin queuage. 20 seconds onto the Baron. The Dragon is going to be alive, and Dignitas has a beautiful advantage and a huge minion wave up top. Teleport is not up for Benny, so this is kind of a scatter for XDG.
They actually are just posturing, trying to keep Dig from getting position around Baron. It looks like they don't even want to let Dig inside to get ward coverage of that area.
Human defense.
So they're posturing right now, and Dig, after the failed last engage that was out in the open, doesn't look like they're willing to try and take advantage of Mundo over in the top lane. That, or they don't have the exact timer on teleport. It's pretty close to coming up now.
That's true.
So you really have to be very spot on with that teleport to go, the teleport timer to go for an initiate at that time.
Got to consider it's up, and it may hurt you a little bit, because they could have engaged there, could have gotten a nice fight.
That could be enough.
Pie, a little close to the front line. It's going on to Cruiser. They had enough damage to take him out immediately last time. The kick is only onto Benny. Everybody sidestepped that. Beautiful job. It's going to be 5 members of Dig. The calling comes out. Benny's going to be the blocker there with the meat shield. Cruiser's going to go down here. Smithy focus him very quick. Zuna with the help, and it looks like XDG is going to take the inhibitor on this one. If they can push a little bit more. Tibbers is trying to give him the zonage, and they got it.
Kill whoever you can catch, even if it's Renekton. They're able to burn him down, keep him slowed constantly with the cleavers, and On the Hunt enables them to finish that chase. Now that Baron is up, it's the perfect time here for XCG, taking out the inhibitor and the main tank for Dig. If Dig get close to this Baron, then XCG can immediately turn around. But XCGs have to be always wary. Baron, Baron steals. Baron steals are very real.
Not again.
Gragas is a high priority Baron stealing champion, and Lee Sin as well.
This game could very well go in the favor of Dignitas in just a few seconds. ManCloud didn't make it over the wall. He's forced to flash. Crumbs does have an accessible way into the Baron pit. Gets hit up a little bit more. They are holding damage on Baron. They're kind of pushing this off. Benny taking big damage from the outside. Crumbs is in. Baron is nowhere near smite range, and Crumbs goes down. It's a shutdown going to Smithy. He is having an amazing game right now on Sivir. XDG keeps her eyes focused on champions as well as the Baron. ManCloud keeps it alive with a bit of lifesteal, and he takes down Cutie Pie.
Well, that was a last-ditch effort for Dig. Trying to go for the steal on that Baron. Really good attempt, but man, Crumbs going in too early. Gets cut down. No chance at spiting that away because XCG play it well, and they keep the Baron above smite range long enough to take down that jungler. And they even are able to get the consolation prize of Dragon.
It was really great coordination to stop attacking.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody's like, well, I'd rather tank Baron at this point. We're also tanky.
Yeah, good point.
It's not really doing that much to us. So ManCloud jumps over to try and zone Crumbs. When that fails, they turn back on the Baron here. And you can see the call made. As soon as they go back on the Baron, Scar and Crumbs rush towards it because they think XCG are going to burn it down. It's so low, you know, that's a very real possibility. So you can't fault Dig too much for that play.
Oh, wow.
It's really touch and go when the Baron is that low. So they made their attempt, but it was just a bit too early, and XCG come out on top.
And everything is happening the way they want it to right now. Somehow they have grabbed themselves a 10,000 gold lead, and I guess we should say somehow they have played spectacular in the past 18 minutes a game. They started taking over just before 30 minutes. 7 turrets in their favor now. All that gold came as such a huge surge too. It's not something Dignitas was expecting to see in the next fight.
Yeah, XCG were they played the waiting game well. They were so far behind, they were like, okay, we can't make the plays ourselves. They wait for Dig to actually start off the plays.
Outplay themselves.
And then we have On the Hunt. We have the mobility advantage. We pop that every single time there's even an opportunity for a fight. And since they got 2 wins in a row for the small team fights inside the jungle, they're able to get right back in this game and force so many of those fights where they're able to just take out Scar, take out Cutie Pie before it even starts up. All that damage, all those damage items meant nothing from Scar and from Cutie Pie because they had no life.
Full build, full item Smithy coming out pretty strong now. Puts the Zephyr in, and these guys are even bigger in the tank category. 3 Randuins coming out. Kobe, you said Dig was going to have to kite. I don't think it's going to be that easy anymore.
So, as we said, I already mentioned the armor on Bloodwater. He's pushing 300 now. They can easily tank up turrets, inhibitor turrets here. And Mundo's got his teleport once again. He wouldn't even have to use it. He could run down pretty much in the time that it takes the channel at this point. So It's XDG looking very fierce at the moment because Baroned up, they can easily go for a turret dive.
I like this buy from Kiwi Kid. He's still trying to have an impact too with his Deathfire Grasp. The Tibbers is up for this next engagement. We're 50 minutes in, the longest game of this week, I believe here. 18-9, XDG has persevered through a bad early game, and it looks like they're going strong onto the fight. Cutie Pie on the backside, what a solar flare, and it's dead on the boomerang. Nick Smithy is just hitting those spot on today. Crumbs is gonna fall. XDG coming from very far behind in this game, and it looks like they're gonna grab a victory.
They tried to bring everything to obliterate Smithy right at the beginning of the fight, and they almost caught him, but quick flashes, quick spell shield, Smithy gets out alive.
History may have repeated itself here in this game. The last game of the day, Kobe. Baron is not something to be toyed with. XDG was able to grab a huge advantage here at 30 minutes. 21-9. They put themselves up a nice chunk of gold at the end, but they get the victory, and that's all that matters.